said that Gutfeld talks about you all the time.
Who is he? Who is he?
I don't watch the show.
He has a show.
I don't watch the
never
show.
heard of him.
Yeah.
I guess he's just obsessed with me.
No. Next, Joy's gonna say she's never heard of carbs.
Picture this. Joy Behar sitting at that famous table trying to stay cool. But then Greg Gutfeld drops a roast so harsh, even her makeup looked ready to give up. Her whole vibe was off. The mascara might have stayed on, but her ego, that flatlined, right on live TV. So what really happened? Did Joy lose her cool, or did her pride just grab its purse and walk off the set?
Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. It now smells like a humid day inside Joy Behar's moo-moo. The motives stink worse than Joy Behar's jog bra. I mean, assuming she jogs. Oh, wait, there she is.
All right.
She has a point. Maybe I am obsessed, but some people are obsessed with Bigfoot, and they don't get to see him on TV every...
Whatever it was, this live clash was full of awkwardness, chaos, and unfiltered laughs that made you cringe and giggle at the same time. Joy Behar isn't new to this. She's been holding down that seat for years, tossing out sharp comments and rolling her eyes like a pro. Her whole style is built on bold comebacks and fierce opinions that hit harder than a Monday morning alarm. But even legends can stumble. Today, Joy didn't just trip. She got run over by a guy who treats politics like a comedy roast. Greg Gutfeld showed up with jokes hotter than the studio lights. And Joy? She got grilled like leftover lasagna. Greg isn't just a TV host. He's a master of mayhem. He could turn a boring press event into a roast session. His sarcasm is sharp, and when he's on a roll, no one is safe. Not even Joy with her whole panel backing her.
Last week, Joy Behar accused Elon Musk of being pro-apartheid, but then begged him afterwards not to sue. Musk lawyers have yet to comment because they're still checking to see if it's legal to sue a cow.
Shots fired.
It's a legal question. I don't know why it's so upsetting. I don't make the rules in this country.
He doesn't just respond. He creates full-blown symphonies of sarcasm, filled with punchlines that hit like a door slamming in a storm. Watching him go off is like Bugs Bunny crashing into CNN with zero chill. And this clash, it changed what we think awkward silence sounds like, with laughter on top. When Greg locks on to someone, it's not just a little teasing. It's a full-on takedown. He doesn't just throw shade, he bulldozes through with the accuracy of a surgeon and the wild force of a sugar-deprived toddler throwing a tantrum.
It's about the view. It's become like a medical hospital that displays human misfailure. Like it's like here, let's look at this political oddity. You know, it's like it really is like the left-wing equivalent of a carnival sideshow, except instead of bearded ladies and fat clowns and two-headed cows. Well, let me rephrase that. But The View is a victim of the sunk cost fallacy. You know, how can you now speak the truth and when for years you've been telling lie after lie after lie? Now you're carrying this big bag of rocks around you because it's too harmful for their ego to admit that we really were dishonest. And they could be honest. All they would have to say is, look, we hate Trump so much. We were willing to lie about Joe Biden because we felt he was preferable. We thought our lying and our cover-up was on your behalf. Just say that. You're still scum, but at least you're honest.
Now picture this. Joy Behar, relaxed in her comfy daytime seat, thinking she's untouchable. She's faced some wild media drama and always came out smiling. Until today. Out of nowhere, Greg hit her with a verbal sneak attack so sharp it could have been on a reality show or one of those awful open mic nights. And no, this wasn't friendly teasing. It wasn't just two hosts tossing jokes. Greg came ready to peel back every layer of Joy's polished image like fake designer clothes, exposing soft spots even she didn't know about. He didn't start loud, just smirks and some gentle jabs at her recent political rants. But then, boom, it flipped. He went full demolition. He didn't argue, he broke her down live, bit by bit. Her bold TV style crumbled into shaky points that Greg knocked over like dominoes. And the wildest part? No yelling, no insults, just cold, clean sarcasm so sharp it felt like it was tailor-made to cut through her confidence.
Out of some news, the feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for...
Our view on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it, Gladys.
The audience, stunned. Joy, scrambling. Greg, calm, cool, and deadly. Let's get this straight. This wasn't a debate. No back and forth, no balance. This was a one-sided verbal takedown. Greg came to win, and Joy stumbled mid-sentence like a ballerina forgetting the steps. The energy? Nuclear-level roast with military-grade calm. No shouting, just that quiet tension before a storm. Greg sat there cool and ready while no one else saw it coming. Then bam! He lit her up without raising his voice. It wasn't a loud explosion. It was quiet and sharp. Joy had been throwing out her usual spicy takes, classic sass, edgy one-liners. But Greg smelled weakness. He circled her like a shark, eyes locked on every weak point. And when he struck, it was a takedown so clean it looked planned, like a group of comedians had written it for maximum impact.
Republican presidential candidate Tim Scott dropped by the Furry Five earlier today, and I thought the U.S. had a distinct policy against torture. He took the opportunity to call them out over crap Joy Behar recently said about him, specifically that he doesn't get systemic racism, which is like saying Brian Stelter doesn't get Ben and Jerry's. But Joy Behar gets racism after all. She's been black on Halloween. Yeah. But Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her days off when she feeds in the pasture. But that is convenient, right? It's like one of my aunts dies every time Brian Kilmeade wants to...
Greg wasn't just funny, he was smart. Every line had punch and every joke carried a truth. No yelling needed. He picked apart Joy's points with humor that hit hard. At first, everyone thought it was harmless, just TV banter. But the vibe shifted. Laughter turned nervous. Tension grew. Then it happened. Joy, the queen of comebacks, froze. Her one-liners didn't land. Her confidence shook. Everyone saw it. The woman who usually owned the room looked lost. The camera didn't miss a beat. Joy's whole on-air persona, built on sass and control, fumbled. It wasn't just a hit to her pride. This went deeper. Her silence showed what happens when fame burns too hot. In today's media world, stars like Joy aren't just hosts, they're constant targets. Every pause is a headline. And this time, her tough image cracked. It wasn't drama, it was real. You could see it. That pause in her voice, that flicker in her eyes. It wasn't an act. It was the moment the spotlight burned too bright. She didn't just trip, she quietly folded, right in the middle of a high-stakes media game. Greg played, like a pro, and Joy had no comeback. It wasn't weakness, it was real human vulnerability, and that hit harder than anything else. The cost of always being on finally showed.
Sausage maker Johnsonville is recalling more than 42,000 pounds of pork sausage for possible contamination with plastic fibers. Fortunately, authorities were able to track all 42,000 pounds to a single location in New York City.
The second that clip hit the internet, social media exploded. One side cheered Greg as the king of sarcasm, calling it the roast of the decade. The other side was stunned by Joy's rare silence, rushing to defend her with, "She's only human." Memes flew like glitter at a scandal party. Greg as a golden gladiator, Joy drowning in his jokes. It was chaos, funny, messy, viral chaos. But here's what many missed while laughing. This wasn't just a roast, it showed the system breaking. The pressure on public figures to stay strong while hiding how tired they really are. Joy's silence wasn't weakness. It was a crack in the act, a moment of truth in a world that punishes flaws. That one quiet second, it hit louder than any joke. Greg's roast? It wasn't loud or mean. It was calm, sharp, and devastating. A lesson in how comedy can cut deep without ever being cruel. He didn't yell. He timed it. And Joy felt every word. This wasn't just her getting knocked down. It was a lesson for everyone. Even the most confident stars can falter. The internet saw it. And then came the real storm. Opinions, memes, debates. Greg's moment? Legendary. And Joy? Left in the middle of a media hurricane.
Their brains are small. But who's the dumbest one of all? True, none of them are in Mensa, but who's the most densa? Perhaps it's Sonny who mastered the art of making idiots look smart. Now, The View could ask a mirror who's the dumbest one of all, but there's no way that glass doesn't.
Greg's verbal knockout wasn't just some TV drama. It turned into a full-blown cultural event. The clips spread like wildfire, even faster than those viral videos of cats playing piano or celebrities tripping on red carpets. Only this time, it wasn't physical, it was verbal, and it hit just as hard. Social media feeds exploded with debates. Some people said Joy totally choked, while others turned the moment into a deep conversation. How far is too far when jokes start to feel like attacks? Some viewers called it genius, sharp, clever comedy with perfect timing. Others thought Greg crossed the line, taking a funny roast and turning it into a brutal character takedown. The internet split right down the middle. One side declared Greg the new king of truth bombs, the guy who says what no one else will. The other half stood behind Joy, saying she just had a rare off day and let her guard down. Greg's roast became viral gold. Late-night hosts joked about it. Analysts broke it down like it was game film. Influencers turned every line into a meme. Greg went from clever talk show host to straight-up legend. He showed the world he could make you laugh while tearing apart your argument like paper, and Joy? She was left trying to catch her breath, right in the middle of the media storm.
I make fun of The View a lot, but that's only because they keep talking. Those hens are always clucking. They get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, and then I get to say stupid stuff for an hour every day, except on purpose. But every now and then, one of those dingbats inadvertently says something that reveals modern liberal thought so perfectly, it deserves further study. You know, like a weird serpent that washed up on the beach and you want to poke it with a stick.
Fans rushed to show support for Joy, calling her silence a sign of strength, not weakness. They said even the toughest people crack sometimes, but not everyone was kind. Some zoomed in on that exact moment, that slip, like sharks smelling blood. They didn't stop there. Old clips started popping up, past interviews, eye rolls every time she snapped or dropped a sassy line. All of it got pulled into the spotlight. Suddenly, Joy's strong TV image, the one that seemed untouchable for years, looked shaky. People started questioning everything. Was this just one bad moment, or had she lost her edge for good? Headlines didn't just talk about the roast. They questioned her entire legacy. Her confidence, her style, her opinions, now all under a microscope. The spotlight that once flattered her now felt cold and harsh. What once made Joy iconic now looked like overplayed drama. This wasn't just a comeback fail, it became a full review of her career. But there's a bigger issue here. This meltdown showed just how brutal today's media really is. People like Joy don't just perform on TV anymore, they survive it. Every word becomes a soundbite, every pause becomes a headline, every stumble can destroy everything. Public figures are expected to be perfect, confident, bold, sharp, but never tired. never off their game. It's a brutal line to walk. One mistake, and suddenly your whole image is up for debate.
Do you think it's a good strategy on the behalf of The View to pretend we don't exist when
Yeah.
we know they know we exist?
That's a brilliant idea. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Gutfeld. I'm sorry, not ringing the bell.
Usually at the airport.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Huh? Really? I sit next to him? Really? No, this is what elitists do who can't, like, if you don't know who someone is, how did you know to automatically hate him? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's how fake, full of she is. Gutfeld, never heard of him. Don't like him. Why? Because why? That's why I just turned to one of my kids. Because why?
Yeah.
Because I don't know who he is. Never heard of him at all in my entire life. But why? Because I don't know. Because they are the last TV show to talk about high turnover. Mm-hmm. We've been rolling 3 steady for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't take breaks in the commercial to get away from each other. Well, that's what the drinking's for.
Yes.
Let's be real. This isn't just another TV feud. This is modern media warfare. It's where opinions, personalities, and punchlines crash into each other at full speed. No timeouts, no filters. And why does this moment matter so much? Because Joy versus Greg wasn't just about a few sharp words. It was about surviving in a world where people are judged by how quickly they respond, how hard they hit, and how cool they look doing it. It showed us something deeper, how much pressure these TV personalities really feel. How long can someone keep pretending everything's fine before they slip? How real can they be before the internet turns on them? That moment on live TV wasn't just about 2 people arguing. It was a mirror. It reflected back all the crazy rules of fame, the impossible standards, the non-stop pressure. It showed how viewers watch and wait, ready to laugh when someone breaks. It's not just TV anymore. It's a test. Perform, entertain, never crack. Fame isn't just fun and glam. It's a spotlight that can burn. And the crowd? They love it when someone falls. Greg delivered punchlines, sure. But what really hit hard was the truth behind them. Even the best can stumble. And when they do, the world watches and judges every second of it.
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find I'm friends with a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly.
This whole thing? It's not just juicy daytime drama. It's a battle. A full-on gladiator match with microphones instead of swords. And the way things are heading, someone else is going to get burned next. Because this isn't just fun back and forth, it's war. A savage game where anything goes, and the audience, they eat it up. Greg didn't just roast Joy, he raised the bar. He flipped the rule book. From now on, everyone in the media knows one viral clip can change everything. Careers can rise or crash in under a minute. So what now for Joy? Will she come back stronger, sharper, and reclaim her spot at the top? Or is this where she steps back and lets the fire cool down? No one knows yet. But what Greg did, that wasn't just a clever joke. That was a broadcast body slam. It'll be replayed for years. The memes are flying. People are picking sides. And one thing's certain, this moment is now part of TV history. Whether you're Team Joy, Team Greg, or just here for the drama, one thing's clear, even daytime talk shows can go full savage. And if you think that was intense, stay tuned. Because the next round, it's coming, and it's going to be even wilder.